Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am lulling Lisa, hoping to lull you into a state of relaxation, sleep, or just entertainment through ASMR. Hi. Funny that I have a little catchphrase. Wasn't necessarily prepared to have one, but it just helps me start my videos. So, hi. Happy almost New Year's. Can't believe it. This will be the last video until the new year. And so, I wanted to make a New Year's appropriate Kokology test. I don't know how long it's going to be, so if it's not long enough, I mean, I can see it looks pretty good, but I might also throw in another one from our Kokology book, just because I got you and I want to have a longer video today. So, anywho, I asked ChatGPT for a Kokology test with a New Year's Eve theme, and I didn't really give it enough guidelines, but I basically said to create a scenario-based psychological personality test, aka Kokology test, with the scenario being New Year's Eve, and they broke it up into, let's see, I think 4 parts, which is very interesting. So they give you the scenario, and then they give you 4 little scenarios with 4 separate multiple choice questions in there, and the meaning behind each question, which I love. I thought that's so incredibly fascinating. So let's see how this one works out for us. And let's see if we like it or not. And then we'll see where the video takes us. That's all that I've planned for this video. So I'm very excited. So happy New Year's, everyone. It's coming up so soon. And here is the scenario. Let's go. So this says, you find yourself at a vibrant New Year's Eve party. The countdown to midnight is approaching, and the atmosphere is filled with excitement. As you navigate the festivities, pay attention to the following situations and choose how you would react in each one. I love this. Okay, so we're at a vibrant New Year's Eve party. The countdown to midnight is approaching. The atmosphere is filled with excitement. Now, as we navigate the festivities, they're going to give us a little scenario, and we're going to answer the multiple choice. And then at the very end, I'm going to go over all of the answers with you, and my answers as well. So, here's the test. 1. Midnight countdown. It's almost midnight, and people around you are counting down to the new year. How do you participate? 3 options, A, B, or C. A. Cheer loudly and join the countdown with enthusiasm. B. Maintain a calm demeanor, quietly counting down in your head. Or C. Stay on the sidelines, observing the celebration without actively participating. So, I didn't preface this test enough. I think I was too excited, but I hope that you have a pen and a paper, or you can just write your answers down in the comment description box so you don't forget. I think I'll remember mine. But essentially, there's going to be 4 questions, so try to keep this in mind what you choose. So I'll read you the options again. The 3 options. So 1, cheer loudly and join the countdown with enthusiasm. 2, maintain a calm demeanor, quietly counting down in your head. Or 3, stay on the sidelines, observing the celebration without actively participating. And that was A, B, or C. My apologies, but yeah. Okay, and now we move on to the next part. 2 is called New Year's Resolution. Someone asks about your New Year's resolution. How do you respond? A. share a specific goal you set for yourself in the coming year. B, express a general aspiration without going into too much detail. Or C, playfully deflect the question, suggesting that resolutions aren't your thing. I'll say that again. A, share a specific goal that you've set for yourself in the coming year. B, express a general aspiration without going into too much detail. Or C, playfully deflect the question, suggesting that resolutions aren't your thing. Okay, once you have your answer, let's move on to question 3. Dance floor invitation. A friend invites you to join them on the dance floor. How do you respond? A, accept the invitation, ready to dance the night away. B, politely decline, explaining that dancing isn't really your thing. C, consider it but express hesitation, unsure about stepping onto the dance floor. I'll read them again. A, accept the invitation eagerly, ready to dance the night away. B, politely decline, explaining that dancing isn't really your thing. C, consider it but express hesitation, unsure about stepping onto the dance floor. Question 4, and this is the final question. It's called New Year's Toast. It's time for the midnight toast. How do you raise your glass? A, lift your glass high, making eye contact with those around you. B, raise your glass discreetly, avoiding much attention. C, skip the toast, sipping your drink quietly without participating. I'll read that again. A, lift your glass high, making eye contact with those around you. B, raise your glass discreetly, avoiding much attention. C, skip the toast, sipping your drink quietly without participating. Now it says, consider your responses and reflect on how they align with your personality. Keep in mind that these interpretations are generalizations and not definitive assessments. Enjoy your virtual New Year's Eve celebration. I don't know, I just love this so much. Okay, let's see what everything means. So, let's go back to question 1, the midnight countdown. Remember, it's almost midnight and people around you are counting down to the new year. How do you participate? If you answered A, cheer loudly and join the countdown with enthusiasm, this means you embrace life with enthusiasm and are always ready for new experiences. If you answered B, maintain a calm demeanor, quietly counting down in your head, this means you approach significant moments with a composed and reflective attitude. If you answered C, stand the sidelines, observing the celebration without actively participating, this means you tend to be an observer, valuing reflection and thoughtful observation in social situations. So, I said A, cheer loudly and join the countdown with enthusiasm, because if I'm at a New Year's party, I want to have fun, and likely in this scenario I'm not pregnant and I'm drinking and when I'm having a cheers, I'm always a good time at a party. My inner extrovert comes out. Sometimes I feel like I'm an introvert, but I can be both at times, so I'm definitely a good time at a party. And I think that it's true that I do embrace life with enthusiasm and I'm ready for new experiences. I think I can be pretty spontaneous in that sense. So yeah, but I mean, I don't see how I wouldn't also be an observer, valuing reflection and thoughtful observation in social situations, which could have also been true. So it depends, in the context of a New Year's party, I might behave a little bit differently than normally. So question number 2. So remember, someone asks about your New Year's resolution, how do you respond? If you answered A, share a specific goal you've set for yourself in the coming year, this means you are goal-oriented and enjoy setting clear objectives for personal growth. If you answered B, express a general aspiration without going into too much detail, you prefer to keep your aspirations private or may be more flexible in your approach. If you answered C, playfully deflect the question, suggesting that resolutions aren't your thing. This means you have a laid-back attitude towards resolutions, valuing spontaneity over strict plans. In this scenario, I answered B, so I wouldn't deflect the question per se, but I would share a general goal. I wouldn't get too into it, but I would maybe share something, right? Just a little something without going into too much detail. And it's true, I do prefer to keep my aspirations private, and it's also true, I might be more flexible in my approach, which is true because I shared with you that I wanted to get 40K by New Year's Day. And of course, I shared it with you at the end of the year. I think in the beginning of the year it was more like 50K. But then I had to be a little more realistic with my goals. So I am flexible. Next, question number 3. This was the dance floor invitation. So this says, a friend invites you to join them on the dance floor. How do you respond? If you said A, accept the invitation eagerly, ready to dance the night away. This means you're outgoing and love embracing joyful and lively activities. If you answered B, politely decline, explaining that dancing isn't really your thing. This means you may be more reserved, enjoying a quieter and less energetic social interaction. If you answered C, considerate but express hesitation, unsure about stepping onto the dance floor. This means you're open to new experiences but might approach them cautiously, balancing your comfort zone. And I said C because I'm not the greatest dancer, but I thought in this case I wouldn't reject the dance because probably with a little liquid courage I would dance a little. And it's true because I think I am open to new experiences, but I do them cautiously, so I like to be spontaneous, but I like to know what I'm getting into at the same time. And lastly, for the New Year's toast. It's time for the midnight toast. How do you raise your glass? If you said A, lift your glass high, making eye contact with those around you. You enjoy being the center of attention and savor celebratory moments with others. If you said B, raise your glass discreetly, avoiding much attention. You appreciate quieter expressions of celebration and may prefer more intimate settings. If you said C, skip the toast, sipping your drink quietly without participating. It means you might be introspective and prefer personal, reflective moments rather than public celebrations. I said A because I genuinely have a thing with making eye contact when cheersing, because in Italian it's said to lead to 7 years of a bad sex life. I don't know why I spelled that out for you, but you're supposed to make eye contact. It's good luck. So that's really the main reason why I said A. And I think that I do enjoy celebratory moments with others, but not if we're celebrating myself. I don't like my birthday. I like celebrating others typically, so what the heck, way to go, ChatGPT. I thought that was a fantastic test, considering I didn't even ask for multiple choice or not. I feel like ChatGPT tends to gear towards multiple choice now that I think this is probably like the 3rd or 4th time I've asked ChatGPT for a Kokology test, which is so fascinating. Did you like that? Now, just to end it off nicely, I have no idea what this test is going to be about, but let's do this. This is Cinderella story. Okay, because I wanted to do like a New Year's one to have a little celebration with you. But at the same time, I also wanted to do a test in this Kokology book in case the ChatGPT one didn't turn out good. But I think it turned out pretty good. So here we are back with the Kokology test. Same rules apply, of course. So this is a series of psychological games designed to reveal your hidden attitudes about sex, family, love, work, and more. So this one is called Cinderella Story. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of like a brain fart when it comes to these Kokology tests lately, but yeah, I believe this is new for us. Sorry, that was the book screeching. So here we go, another Kokology test from the book this time. The rags to riches story of a girl whose dreams come true, Cinderella, is one of the classic fairy tales in world literature. Of all the memorable scenes in the tale, and this is a very short test, which stands out most in your mind? So another multiple choice, because I feel like that's pretty much all we have left in these tests until I buy a new book, but anywho. So if you're familiar with Cinderella, hopefully you are. I think most people are familiar with Cinderella. It asks, which stands out most in your mind? Maybe if you're not familiar with Cinderella, this could still apply, because I feel like you might have heard something about this. So hopefully this applies. So they're going to give 4 multiple choice answers, and then based on what you choose, we'll see what this means about you. So 1. Cinderella suffering at the hands of her wicked stepmother. 2. Cinderella being transformed into a beautiful princess by her fairy godmother. 3. Cinderella losing her slipper on the steps to the palace as the clock strikes midnight. Or 4. The scene where the prince finally finds her and fits the glass slipper on her foot. So I'll read that again. Out of all the memorable scenes in the tale, which stands out the most in your mind? 1. Cinderella suffering at the hands of her wicked stepmother. 2. Cinderella being transformed into a beautiful princess by her fairy godmother. 3. Cinderella losing her slipper on the steps to the palace as the clock strikes midnight. Or 4. The scene where the prince finally finds her and fits the glass slipper on her foot. Now that you have chosen, let's read the key to Cinderella's story. Why do you react so strongly to the scene you picked? A closer look at the elements of each scene tells us your choice is related to your greatest character weakness or flaw. So, a look at the answer tells us that the choice you picked is related to your greatest character weakness or flaw. Interesting. Okay. If you chose 1, Cinderella suffering at the hands of her wicked stepmother, the thought of poor Cinderella scrubbing the floors while her stepmother and sisters showered her with abuse evokes strong feelings of pity. But on the underside of pity lies feelings of superiority and pride. You remember this scene for the way it made you feel better than someone. It's good for you to be able to look down at others with a tender eye, but be wary of your tendency to look down on them all the time. That's an interesting analysis. 2. If you chose 2, Cinderella being transformed into a beautiful princess by her fairy godmother. This says, with a wave of her magic wand, her fairy godmother makes Cinderella into an enchanted princess and changes her world forever. But here in the real world, things are not so easy to do. Your biggest faults are your blindness to the practical questions in your life and your lack of attention to planning and consequences. You seem to forget that there are no fairy godmothers waiting to save you from the problems you create for yourself. That's interesting. Next, if you chose 3, which I chose 3, Cinderella losing her slipper on the steps to the palace as the clock strikes 12. This scene left a strong impression on you because it played upon your sense of dependency on others. It's easy to see yourself running out at the stroke of midnight, leaving behind nothing but problems and unanswered questions. In the short term, relying on others to clean up your messes may seem like the easy way through life, but one day you're going to have to face the music. That is me. I'll talk about this after 4. I don't want to interrupt with my thoughts just right now, but we'll go over that. If you chose 4, the scene where the prince finally finds her and fits the glass slipper on her foot. Almost everybody loves a happy ending, and you count yourself among them, and therein lies your problem. You're too easily satisfied with the simple, the normal, and the average. All you expect from life is an average job, an average salary, average friends, average family, average kids. Work on discovering more of what makes you unique and original. Remember, you're an individual, even if you don't feel like one. So this is an interesting test to end on for our New Year's party here. Because it's like calling out all of our flaws. But in a way, it's not such a bad thing to be called out on our flaws. So if you related to this or not, either way, I think this can help you in working towards a possible resolution. That's kind of why I like the new year, because I feel like there's like a fresh start to everything. So you can kind of put in the past all of your bad habits and really try to improve. I know that sometimes halfway through the year, like everything goes to hell. And like all the good we've done can kind of, but it's really good to try our best to get a fresh start on the new year and to work on those resolutions, I suppose. So going back to number 3, I chose 3, and it does say that I have a problem with, I guess, relying on others too much, so I have a dependency on others, which I would say is actually very true. And I should work on that in the new year. So this is a good reminder for myself, because I do often, I have like a little bit of a worry, like if my loved ones like go out. I have sort of like a separation anxiety from those I'm closest to, because I feel like if they were to go out doing something that could have been avoided and something were to happen to them, like my whole life would just be like up in shambles. And it's like, I mean, that's a more extreme example of this, but that's sort of like my dependency on others and how I just feel like my life would just be like completely ruined based on the health and safety of those around me. I suppose that's normal, but I also have like a severe, like, it sounds silly, but like if even my husband is like going to the store to get something, sometimes I'm like, did he have to go to the store and get something? Like, maybe we shouldn't put his life in jeopardy like that, but it's so silly to think that way. These extreme examples, because I just feel like I'd be lost without him. And like, even my sister, so she, over the Christmas break, went to Poland. As I'm recording this, she's still there because this is before Christmas. But this is our New Year's party, so... And anywho, it was sort of my idea, because I said, like, if you can, you didn't travel for the summertime, you definitely should take this opportunity and go to Poland and see the beautiful Christmas markets and all of that. And then I thought to myself, after I said that, there was like one night where I woke up with a little bit of anxiety, and I was like, why did I tell her to do that? What if something happens? Because I'm so like dependent on those around me for my own like sense of happiness and stuff, and I think that's normal, but it also goes further than that and things like that. So I did find this test accurate. I did find the ChatGPT test accurate too. It's a little different when all of the multiple choice ones are broken down, so we had quite a few questions to go through, so more or less it was accurate. This was just one big question really, and like a lot more in-depth analysis. So I like this idea. Did you enjoy this combination of the ChatGPT and the Kokology book? Let me know, because I'll be happy to do more of these in the future. We can do strictly Kokology book, strictly ChatGPT. We can merge them both, whatever you decide is best. But yeah, one of my resolutions for the new year is to hopefully come back with a lot of good content that I know you're going to love. And being pregnant not easy, because I genuinely thought at this point in my pregnancy I wouldn't be nauseous and it would be a lot easier to just like power through. And I heard like in your second trimester you get so much more energy back, you're not nauseous and you're feeling better. And I thought I could pre-record a lot of videos so I don't leave you hanging for like around the time of the birth and pregnancy and postpartum and things like that. And I'm still nauseous, so I'm like, oh. So I'm gonna really try my best to, one of my goals is to like schedule enough content to be like even 3 months ahead, if I can, because I don't want to ever leave you hanging, and I know my life is going to be very busy once the baby comes and stuff, and I don't plan on having this channel suffer at all because of that, but who knows what the future holds. But yeah, I thought I would be less nauseous at this point, but I'm not. So sometimes recording videos, like I like to record tons of videos at a time, and sometimes that has been challenging, unfortunately. But thank you so much for sticking with me, and please do share your New Year's resolution goals with me. Even if you're not someone who makes goals, I want to challenge you to make a secret, maybe wish for yourself. So something you wish could happen in the new year, because I understand not everyone wants to set goals. And at the same time, I want to ask you if you've watched this long, because it means you love my channel, and I appreciate that. I want to ask you to request content that you want to see in the new year. Maybe I'll make a community tab post and you could even request there as well in the future. But I want you to request content that you want to see either more of, or maybe you want to see something new from me altogether. I would love to know that as well. So yeah, please fill me in. I often like to ask you for your opinions and advice almost, because I am doing this for you. I want to make content that you enjoy consuming, of course. So yeah, I do think it's super important to get your opinion on things you want to see, of course. And there has to be a balance, because it has to be something I feel comfortable doing and happy to do, and something that you're happy to consume. So yes, this is the New Year's special Kokology video. I hope you enjoyed this, and I so look forward to seeing you in the new year with some fresh content and some old favorites, of course, as well. Stay safe, stay happy, and remember, if you have no New Year's plans this year, I'm pretty sure I don't either. Probably just gonna stay home and eat some nice food and relax. But yeah, Happy New Year coming up, and I wish you so much joy for the new year. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate your support, your comments, thumbs up, engagement, watch time. Everything helps my channel grow, and my goal is to continue growing into the new year, of course. Bye. Sweet dreams. Happy relaxation and Happy New Year. The good news is that Mercury in retrograde is apparently going to be over on January 1st. So that's great. Great for all of us if we've suffered at all this retrograde holiday season.